movie. Todd Phillips just fucking nailed that movie.
Recording. And go ahead and clear your screen. And I'm going to mute everybody and get to it. Okay, find that comfortable upright seat, sitting at the edge of your chair. Chin just slightly tilted down, which opens that base of skull and gives the opportunity for the crown to be lengthening up. But then any uprightness that you get going, have it not from a holding up or pulling up, but quite the contrary, have it from an allowing, softening through and down. So that which is sort of starchy in the body, density, tension, can move through and down and out. And then what's left is the sort of buoyant quality in your body. So that's what the softness can create or cultivate for us. So we'll just be here a few moments, breathing in, breathing out. Just another 30 seconds or so here. Seeing if you can, from the command center in the mind, send a message of softening, releasing down through the body, so that everything, remember, relaxation is not a downward experience, meaning we're not slumping and collapsing, but it's a middle out experience of plumping or expanding, you might say. So tension is constricting. So then when we relax, there's actually a space, an opening. And it's the better we get at that opening, the easier our movements become, right? So Tai Chi and Qigong are the cultivation of that softening and release. And then the primary circles and spirals and de-starching of the body, so that we can then move from our middle really effectively and efficiently, which then can create speed, right? If we want to move fast through the world, right? We don't want to be stuck moving like a tortoise all the time. But the practice of Tai Chi, we slow down to the point where we arrive and soften and create this spacious quality, move slow enough to cultivate that. And then there's opportunity for swiftness and efficiency of movement. So it's like going backwards to get to the destination a little bit. So just another 20 seconds. And our three basic movements here: slide hands forward, drop the head gently, rounding. And then slide the hands back, elbows back, shoulder blades back, lift the head, arch. Three more, just trying to get a gentle bit of movement through the 24 vertebrae of the spine. Releasing congestion. And just feeling that there are these 24 movable parts, similar to that snake I was talking about at the beginning, before we started the recording. This idea of the snake movement, the freedom of that. And then we're back to middle and the rotation. Slide left hand forward, right hand back, and rotate slightly right. And back through center and rotate back. Let's do that just 2 more times each. Remember, the quality of soft is what you're working on. So not how far can you get, but how silky, like you're reeling silk through that movement. And back to middle. Arms hang, softly lean. And as you lean, let the opposite wrist float up, very light, very in. And then down. And then lean. And down. Lean. Middle. Last one. Just easy, right? Everything just as easy as can be. Shoulder circles, forward, up, back, down. They can be as small or large as feels good. Remember, the emphasis on this is releasing so that they're very relaxed when they come forward, and then they can go from down to up. Don't let them get caught somewhere in the middle. Really let them release, which is kind of the point of this, right? Is to squish out all the barnacles and then release. And let's go the other way. Back, up, forward. Back, up, forward, down. And again, I've taken time in other classes to explain this, but I'll just keep the emphasis on these shoulder blades in your back. That's where the movement is happening. But it's easy to miss that when you just look at it from here. You can think that all that's happening is someone is moving their arm like this, but it's very important to feel the blades going through their range. So find that sliding quality to those shoulder blades. One more. And middle. Bring hands up. Let's go elbows out and up. And then down, and then in, and then down and out and up. And just find this sort of polishing quality of moving with ease and freedom through that range. And then let's go elbows back, elbows down, elbows forward. The hands go over the shoulders, possibly elbows up if that works for your body. And then forward, down, and back, down, forward, up, forward, down, and back, down, forward, up. And then we're down, elbows out, one above, one below, closing the front, and then opening the front, closing, opening, close, open, close, and open, elbows down, arms down, scoot to the back of the chair, or not to the back, but wherever you feel stable, basically, to where you can then lift, chamber. Remember, chamber is both hinging at the hip and also drawing the heel back and in. So those two together, and then push, like you're pushing something away from you, and then reload, set it down. Let's load, push, reload, set it down. Load, push, reload, down, continue, and push, reload, down, load it, push, one more, and down. Now we're going to just extend and point and flex about 5 times. Invert, evert, a little in and out. And then circles. Other way. Switch feet, pointing and flexing. Invert, evert. Circling. And reverse circle. And down. Scoot forward. Swivels, but we'll just do the double leg. Lift the toes, open, so the knees go out, toes go out, and then bring back in, toes in, knees in. So have the feet far enough apart that you can get this little weird position of knees and toes in, and then open, and close, and open, close, open, close. Now open and stay open with the toes, but now the heels move. So the knees come in as the heels go out. Heels come in as the knees go out. Heels out, knees in. Heels in, knees out. 2 more. Just feeling that freedom in the hips, that looseness in the hips. Next time your heels are out, leave them there. Now just go toes out and then walk them in. 1, 2, 3, and then walk them out. 1, 2, 3, and walk them in. And just feel that the pelvis is still, relaxed. The rest of your body is relaxed and at ease, even as these legs move freely. This kind of looseness can be experienced when we're standing, walking, doing Tai Chi, but initially it's really nice to practice it in a chair where we're supported. Back to neutral, forward, folds, hip hinge, and upright. Do that again, hip hinge. And upright. 2 more. One more. And standing up and sitting down. Slide your feet back a little bit. Arms loose, folding. Head and shoulders and arms in front of the ankles. And then just push through the earth and rise all the way up. Then the butt goes back, head and shoulders forward, sit and land. And then get back to vertical. Fold. And up. Fold. And sink. Fold. And up. Fold. And sink. Once more, fold and up. Now let's do our little Taoist squat, Tai Chi squat, where the hips go back a little, we sink. And note that you can get your fingertips pretty close to the feet or floor and then come right back up. So it's not just a forward fold, it's about sitting to get low and then rising. And again, sitting, rising, sitting, rising. So these are all, again, like I was talking about at the beginning before I started the recording, just that we're doing movement fundamentals of how to efficiently move through space. Now, tip a little forward towards the balls of your feet. And then come to the middle of your feet. And then towards the heels a little bit. If I turn sideways, you can see there's more foot out in front. So that's what allows the tip forward from the middle to create an actual lean. But when I tip back middle and tip to the heels, we don't lean in an equal opposite way because there's not as much foot back there. So we actually create a slight C curve where the head is a little forward, the middle goes back. And then forward and back. Middle, forward, middle, back. Now add, as you go middle forward, let the arms float a little out in front there. And when you come middle back, let the arms swing back. Middle forward, they swing forward like pendulums at the bottom where the weight's in the fingertips there, the sweeping along the ground. So you're not suspending your arms. You're letting them be so relaxed that they're able to swing and even start to slightly rise up. And then swing. Now let's do that sink, chi, wash organs. As you rock back, you swing back, open from these shoulder gates here, arms rise, about shoulder height. Rock forward, so we're tipping forward and let it get all the way through the fingertips, turn the palms up. Rock back, hands come back and past the mouth height. Rock to the middle, the hands settle at the middle, and then the butt goes back and we sink it as we let the arms go to straight. Keep the arms very relaxed as you push through the floor and rise back to standing. Rock back and open the shoulder well. Rock forward, let that shoulder well close. Rock back, the hands coming back, past. Rock middle and sink through. Couple more. Back, forward, back, middle, and through. So this just, again, according to how the Taoists look at it, Chinese medicine looks at it, this is encouraging the correct flow of the life force through the channels. It just encourages it, similar to how the blood flows in a particular route, and we don't want it flowing the opposite way, right? That's their idea of how the chi flows. It has a directionality. And so we're assisting in that here. The reset of the yin and the yang channels. And middle. Wings. Turn palms up, fold up and over, settle down and through to our middle embrace, where the hands are not touching the stomach. There's a little bit of space there, but I'm also not holding myself in some way. So loose, 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 and they just set right there, sort of magnetically tending to this middle. Hands then cross a little bit and come down. Let your weight go more to your left leg, left arm reaches more towards the floor, right wrist, anti-gravity floats up. Right foot, possibly a little empty. We were talking about this one, I think, in one of the previous classes. So there's a difference between pulling my leg up off the ground or emptying it so much that it has that freedom. So that's what you're looking for in the legs in this exercise, is you get to the point where you're so not using the leg and you're so committed to the other that it becomes free. And then you work on changing that. So now this one's free. And so there's like a little shuffle kick you can do. Just very light. So you're changing, and when it becomes empty, you feel it just want to kind of slide out and do a little kick, almost like you're flicking water off the toes. Just a little thing like that. And it kind of proves, oh, I'm empty there. And I'm empty here. And train not using force to do that. And also Nancy, what I'm noticing is this: drop, and then doing this separately. Drop, and then doing this separately, as opposed to watch what I'm doing. Going slow enough to time them. Time. Let the legs slide out. Time, right? So that slowed down pace just increased the neural load of the exercise, which is where with Parkinson's and other nervous system issues, which again, just aging is a nervous system issue. Just a human being on the planet for a long time, the nervous system connection to the body decreases. So these practices, when we put them nice and slow, we're upping that surge. Now let's do the left-right wheel. So the top hand goes out and comes under, and the other one comes out and under. Now go slow enough that you can time it. Again, I'm inhabiting both limbs simultaneously the whole time. So no checkout, no losing track. That doesn't mean there needs to be tension and stiffness. All right, it's called left-right wheel. So we're doing the same thing in the legs, kind of walking in place, emptying the leg, filling the leg, switching back and forth. Reverse the wheel. The hand that's high goes down the back and sweeps out in front. The hand that goes behind you, remember this thing we've worked on quite a few times, like you're going to tickle your own armpit. So it's an internal rotation to get through. And these movements can and need to be executed with that soft quality. They work easily when you don't do too much, when you just bring them back. And then finally, palm up high, close to the body, press. As you press that down, this hand comes up, this leg empty. As you press, you go into that leg, this hand comes up, this leg empty. Press. 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 Emphasize the pushing down through the palm, but getting down through that leg. So this one empties. Press. 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 And left, right, falling leaf, the last one. The high hand turns over, falls like a leaf as this other hand rises. Then this bottom hand relaxes so completely that it turns back to neutral. So it was like that, and it turns to neutral as the falling leaf falls from the top. Then this comes up loose. Relaxes so through to the fingertips that the hand turns over. Falling leaf. Falling leaf. Falling leaf. The hand that's falling is palm up. Hand that's rising is palm down. Like an octopus, tentacles, loose, liquid. And both hands down. Shogun, or closing gesture. Settle. Fingertips touch. Hands extend. Open. Close. Touch. Open. And they're up above the sternum, between the sternum and top of the sternum, the whole chest and heart. Now, as you open, go into your right leg. So your left leg is empty. Then as you close, go into your left leg. So now I won't be looking like your mirror. We'll be looking like we're doing the opposite. So make sure you go to that direction, your right, and then come back into your left. Open, get the starch out, open those interior spaces, close. 3 more. Close. Now, do not crank your arms behind your body when you do it. Notice that I don't crank that way. I just open, and then close. So when we crank the arms behind the line of the body, we no longer are opening the body. So this opens it, that doesn't. So keep them somewhat in front. Now, bring the hands down to the middle basin, which is sternum to belly button, that section of the body. And the elbows are a little bent. And now picture this like an expanding ball all the way open, go into your right leg, and then back towards. Open. And the hands come back in that middle basin. Open. Close. The movement, let it get all the way, all the way, all the way, all the way, all the way out. All the way, all the way, all the way. All the way out. Make sure you're going into your right leg when you're opening there. Make sure of it. Your right leg should be the leg that your body weight's in. There you go. And then your left leg as you close. Right leg as you open. Left leg as you close. Now the hands fall down the lower basin from navel to perineum. This section. Open. So it ends up being a little like crane wings. Close. Open. Close. Open. Close. Open. Close. Open. Nancy, make sure you're going into your right leg when you open. Right leg. Yeah. Close. Open. And close. Shogun. Up over the top, settle to the middle. Couple moments here. Now, arms hanging. Swing one arm forward, the other arm back. Whichever your back arm is, empty that leg. So that leg is empty. And then when you change the arms, change the leg. Swing. 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 And at first, when we start doing this exercise, people think of it as left and right, right? There's kind of a, I'm going over here, I'm going over here, right? And that's when we don't have this middle idea. Eventually, you want it to have a sort of up and down quality where it's down, up, down, up. So yes, we're changing legs, we're swinging, but there's kind of a rotation that's happening, a little bit of a twist, right? So as this arm is forward, my waist is turning, it's rotating a little bit. The middle stays kind of where it is, and there's a little bouncing quality to it. Doesn't mean we're bouncing like crazy, it just means we're dropping. So we're sloughing off, loosening, loosening. So faster is not better, farther isn't better, but looser, more liquid, more viscous. And pause. Now the ringing the temple bell. One hand comes to opposite hip in front. The other hand comes around behind with the back of the hand touching the opposite hip or buttock. Right? So kind of like that. And then we keep the body so loose that as we switch switch, switch. Just allow for the natural little turns and rotations, little twists. And so there's levels to all this stuff, right? So the first level would be if you're feeling very stiff, right? It might just be very light, just kind of like this. But then as it loosens, feel free to explore how far do my arms want to kind of swing and go a little higher and come around, and maybe they even contact a little higher on the torso, right? And feel free to allow that backhand to kind of smack, impact the body. The body's okay with a little bit of thump. It actually enjoys it. Someday you can even get a wider stance and turn, right? Be careful with this one, but you can turn. Turn. So now you're rotating the leg bone in the hip sockets. You're rotating the hip itself on the other hip socket and getting a little more of this bringing out, bringing out. And with each round, you want to feel less in control in the traditional sense of tension. You want to be moving more and more towards this loose control. And then let's slowly shrink it, shrink it, shrink it, back to middle. And just feel that effervescent quality through the body. Feel that titillation, that excitement of the cells that comes from somewhat vigorous activity. And then another one in this family of shuisho, or throwing arms. Hands come up to touch. So we bring the hands out in front, palms facing each other, and there's this swing and back up. Swing and back up. So that's just the arms. But what we add to that is as if we're gonna take a little squat in the chair, but we don't. We just go a little bit. So now it's as you swing the arms, the butt goes a little back, and then we bring it up. So it's swing up, swing up. And don't fold too much, right? Don't fold more than feels good to the back, to the knees, whatever, right? Now, the next final step in this one is where we don't come back to this position. We sort of stay in the slightly tipped position. So just watch me do it a couple. 1, 2, 1. And notice that I'm staying down, and there's a sort of a little bit of a this happening, a little bounce up and down. Right, I'm kind of rising and falling, but I'm not pushing my knees in a negative way. There's this thing happening, like a little squat, right? So together, swing, and then you stay in this little position, and it kind of feels to me like cross-country skiing. You're kind of going shoom, shoom, but stay in the little tilt, loose, 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 and come all the way. Arms down. Just feel that effervescent quality. Loose. Try not to grab back onto your arms. Let your arms hang there. So again, the whole point of this is so we get away from this thing and feel this thing. Loose, spacious, right? Okay, shogun. And now the little bouncing and shaking quality. So let yourself tip a little to the toes. Notice that you can lift your heels a little bit and bring your heels back down. Heels up, heels down. Up, down, up. And then just very little, just the lightest amount of lift and lower. And again, this is where that looseness in your arms is important, because notice what my arms are doing. And it's not because I'm controlling them and going like this or something like that. Right? It's because I'm so loose that they're just kind of Gumby, right? So up and down bounce through the whole body, loose, and then land. Now the legs come a little in and a little out. So on your feet, you're going to the inner edges of the feet, outer edges of the feet. And in the thighs, you're going towards each other, away from each other. So find that direction and then do it really small, in and out, in a shaking kind of way. So I'm not sure how well you guys can see that in my thighs, but they're going in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. So see if you can create that movement. And if you do, you're able to loosen up tension deep in the groin, the hips, the lower back. So in and out. Then, next one. One heel up. Then as this one goes down, the other comes up. And then as that goes down, the other comes up. Up, down. So once you get that feeling of one up, one down, alternating, then you tighten it up, make it really small, and you can get the butt cheeks shaking loose, the sacrum shaking loose, and you can shake loose all the way up to the base of the skull. Right? So those are the 3 leg ones. Let's do those again. Tip a little bit to the toes. Lift a little on the heels and back down, and you just bounce. Loose as can be. And in and out. And run in place. One heel up, one heel down. All right. Upper body. Shoulder wells open. Arms out. So this one's tricky. The arms stay kind of stable. The rib cage moves. The chest moves like you're shaking your chest, right? Kind of shimmy dance move there. Okay, and then wrists loose. And forearms. So that's turning, 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 and it's just the forearm. So let's just try those 3 one more time. The shimmy. Ragdoll wrists, fingers, and then forearms. Put them all together one more time all the way through. Bounce. In and out. Up and down with the heels, like you're running in place. Shimmy. Wrists. Forearms. And shogun. So each of these little sets, these little modules, right? All right, Tai Chi. Rock a little forward, hands swing a little forward. Rock a little back, hands sweep back. Pung, or rising energy. So rock forward, the hands float forward and up, the wrists are relaxed. Rock back, the hands slide back and settle. Rock forward, the hands exude out through the fingertips. Turn the palms to face each other. As they come down along the far side of a circle, rock back. The hands come up a little behind underneath, like they're trying to touch the armpit. And then rock forward, the hands push forward. And then here, the wrists change. And you rock back and sweep back. Rock forward and rise up. Rock back, sliding back and settling. And then softly pressing down and through. And then a little Tai Chi squat. Rising back up. Again, rock a little forward, just a slight float forward. Rock back, sweep back. Pung, rising. Remember, we're training the nervous system with these slow, controlled changes. Rock forward. Hands come down the far side of a circle, under and up the armpit. Folded wrists, forward and out. Rock back. Forward and up. Rock back. Settle, and now we press. And then through. Rise back up. One more. Rock. Rock. Hung or rising. Slide back and settle. And then this one's called G. Wave going up the shore. Falls down, comes under and up and out. This is Lu, or wave coming back to the depths of the ocean. Again, hung, slide back, and then this is the suctioning of the trough of a wave down and then through. Crane wings, out. Now embrace the moon. Left hand, turn palm up. As it comes up and over, right hand sweeps down and under. The hands come towards each other, meeting near the middle. Rising, going around the far side of a circle. Then down, under, up, over, and they come and meet. Calibrate the brain and body so that you can manage these two opposing movements. So that they arrive at the same time. Those look great, everyone. And both hands down. Now the bear washes paws. Starts with a weight shift to one leg and a turn from the middle, from the navel, from the center. And the arms just gently arrange over that way. Since they're over that way, they drag behind as you shift to the other leg and turn, and the hands naturally sweep across. The bear washing its paws. Same thing happens again on this side. And remember this point that I've been highlighting, which is that each of these is different than the one before, because you're opening up little spaces. It's like there's chi seepage into the nooks and crannies of your body if you're paying attention. And so then the next round will probably be a little more buoyant, right? Because as your arms open and then the shoulders and upper back open, and there's just more fluid buoyancy and integrity to the body, then the hands start to become the bear washing paws, which is, the bear swirls the stream, where the hand goes around a far circle, comes in close. And as it brushes through the other one, comes around. And then as the buoyancy increases there, then that hand will rise a little bit, and it's the bear snatching the fish. Snatching the fish. Snatching the fish. And the fish will get a little higher as the hands float up, the higher jumping fish. There's sort of a over the top and down quality. It's nice roundness. And when you're in your left leg here, stay there. Right hand comes down, left arm wings up, and hold. So notice this setup. One leg is empty. We're set up over here to this side. We're shifted and turned this way, right? And then we're going change leg, turn, bottom hand brush knee, top hand push. Then they change around, and we're back to that setup and ready to go, shifting, turning, brushing, pushing. And the change happens. Shifting, turning, brushing, pushing. Change. Same idea. As the buoyancy increases, The stance might get a little wider. The movements might change their location in space, right? In whatever way feels good to your joints, your tissues, your spirals. Couple more. Last one. So stay over in your left leg. Let's all meet over there. Bend the right elbow, have the fingers pointing up. Right hand comes down. Step that right foot a little behind you, toes turned out, and weight goes through the right leg. Left foot empties and touches the floor out in front, right? Like so. Loose. So open up all the spaces. Check and see that you're not doing something like that in this posture. Get the tail, go down and through. And to the degree that you can let one leg be your full leg, maybe you even feel like you can lift. Set that lifted leg down, but no body weight in it. So you touch it down, change. Left hand going down, right foot touches out in front, again with that option for lift. Comes down, lands, change. Lift. Comes down, change. Lift. The golden rooster. Change. Change. Now, bring that foot down, wash your paws, and then turn this next one into the hands play with clouds. So you've changed to your left leg, right hand rises, and we've got cloud, lake, vapor and rain. They exchange places, and then we've got cloud, lake, vapor and rain, cloud, lake, vapor and rain. Adding one challenge to this. Now, as we come across to the right leg, left foot should be empty. Bring the foot in and back out as you change your hands. And then shift and turn and bring that right foot should be empty. Bring it in, back out. So we're just challenging, are we really full and empty? Last one. Now, we're over in the right leg, right hand behind the back. Your left hand, it's my right hand, your left hand down by this hip with the palm facing up. Hand goes away from the body and then travels in a diagonal arc up to this corner. Turn the palm out, sweeps down. Sweep the leg. Get over to this spot again, right by the hip. So notice how my hand is down here and it travels away and up in an arc. Comes down. So tracking this for the brain, it's a more unusual pathway to move. And it's got more properties to it, like it's going forward, it's going slowly up, it's going around. So it's a little trickier to track it. Let's do the other hand. Swing across, bottom hand right in front of the hip, and go out, flying diagonal. and around. There's a shift and a turn. And around. Sweep. Sweep. Now bring that hand out, sweep across, pause here, left hand down at the bottom, bring this right hand up over top. Now just remember this top hand does a sort of down and away as this one goes up and away, creating that, right? This diagonal quality. Now do that as you shift and turn and pause here. Then turn left palm out, right palm up, embracing the moon. One up, one down, one under, one over, and arrive. And then that diagonal, this is stroking wild horse's mane. And then turning and reversing. Shift left, turn left. Tracking both limbs as they do very opposite yet complementary things, movement pathways. One more. Now to switch sides, we stay over here in the left leg, sweep that right hand under, left hand over. Now we're on this side and flying diagonal and downward chop makes parting wild horse's mane. One more. And on this next one, as we finish it, stay in the right leg and sweep the left hand across, drop right hand over, and change. Stay over here, sweep across, change. Stay here, change. Stay, sweep across, change. One more. And make the ball. And then bring that left hand down, turn the right palm back through middle. Sink chi to the belly, or shogun. Arms come down alongside you. Weight through your left leg, turn your right foot out 5, 10, or 15 degrees. Change your weight into that leg, and then this foot here, step it forward just a comfortable distance. Don't let the leg come across this way or this way. Try to keep some width. Now shift towards this front leg, and then hands on your belly for a moment. Try to point the belly button forward. So even though your back leg is slightly turned out, the whole foot's on the ground, 70% or so in your front leg. And then sit straight back and get to 100% in this back leg to where you could lift this foot, but place it back down. That's how you gauge your measurement. Now, forward, back. And the feeling of staying very connected to the ground, rooted. Never losing your root, but changing. You go 100, 0, 70, 30, 70%, 30%. And then 100%, 0, 70%, 30%. Now bring your hands up in front of your chest. Sit back into your back leg. So now keep that stance. Turn your palms forward. Starting from the legs, shifting forward, and let that momentum carry through to a soft push. Turn the hands around, sitting back 100%, and let that momentum carry through. Hands come back. Push. So the point here is this quality of, I think a great way to think of it is if you're pushing a door open or you're pushing something, you could stiffen everything up and then try to just push with the strength of your arms, or you could soften everything so you're one integrated whole, and then like a wave, like the power of water moving through all the way to the fingertips and back. Same idea. Pushing, but not just thinking about the push coming from the arms, even though the arms are like the obvious thing. When we think of doing push-ups or pushing something away, we think arms. But if we feel that the arms are connected liquid-wise through the whole body, and therefore we can now, with a soft quality, get the power through and back, right? Push. Back. Push. Now, changing legs. So stay in your back leg. Bring that front leg back, toe turned out so you're kind of duck foot. Change the weight and step. Now remember the alignment of the step. Back foot is turned out a little bit. Front foot has some width and some length. 70. Let the hands extend. 100. Coming back. 70. And let the hands extend. 100. Push. Can it feel like washing? So it's less about I'm pushing someone with violence and force, and more this kind of liquid washing through the tissues, soothing the nervous system and encouraging this liquid hold, this quality of potency. And so that the next time you have to, let's say, push a door open, right? Sometimes you come across those heavy doors. Again, you arrange your body in relationship to the door, and then the wholeness, you use all the power available in this liquid hold rather than stiffening everything up and trying to force it. Same concept applies to different uses of power, whether it be picking something up or pulling something down, right? Is that we can have this liquid strength. Now, bring the foot back, hands come down. Let's do 3 sync chi wash organs to finish. Rock back, rock forward, rock back, rock middle, and through. Rising up. Again, rock back, forward, back, middle, through. One more. Shogun. Seal. And Taoist bow. All righty. have a comfortable seat, chill out. If you have any discussion points or questions, feel free.
I think what you say about pushing down into the earth instead of, in addition to putting 100% weight in one, well, pushing down into the foot that has 100%, or the leg that has 100% is important for keeping balance.
Yeah. Well, and you use the word pushing down.
Oh, yeah, no.
Which,
not
yeah,
exactly pushing, but that's the direction.
it's more of an allowing, right?
Yeah,
It's like an allowing of the leg that you're shifting into to take more and take more all the way through it. Because usually we go over to that leg and then we tense up to try to hold more, as opposed to open it and allow that soft quality to take all the weight that's required. And then when you do that, it goes through the leg, the knee will bend a little, the whole leg sort of like a bed spring. There's a compression quality that you can feel that's different than a stick, different than a stilt. It's like, right? And when you allow that, so that's an allowing quality rather than a pushing quality, right?
Or rather than contracting that leg, contracting the leg.
Yeah. Opening it and then allowing the integrity of that leg to go and take it all. And then this other leg is free because everything's here. So you're right. That is very fundamental and easy to overlook.
Yeah.
But there's so many opportunities. Like what's her name? Ilana, I think her name is, Novak, in the walking class, her last couple of weeks of saying, how do I practice this? Like, what do I, and it's like, well, if you really understand it, there's so many opportunities to just, when you're about to get up and go to the bathroom right now, each step you go, am I doing it or not? Am I doing it or not? Am I cruising along? Am I kind of wheeling, or am I doing some other way? So analyzing your movement through your day, I find it makes the day more interesting. You go, ooh, where can I use this potency to open this door, or even unlock a jar? Am I tensing, or can I soften and relate to it, and then boom, or that kind of stuff. So look for it everywhere.
Yeah. It's different. It helps a lot too.
Yeah. All righty.
Okay. Thanks, Otto.
Good one. See you next time.
Yeah.
Thank you, Otto.
Yeah, good seeing you, bud.